Sionagon, hello all, Oshta, afternoon, good afternoon, and Wado, thank you for watching. This is part B of day 32 of reading Lone Wolf Alpha Squad, copy over by James Rink, and these are his experiences. So continuing on with Project Surrogate. My original mother was a fourth dimensional high vibrational Pleiadian ET from another universe. Her name is Vicky. My father, Richard, was a 7-foot tall Anunnaki with no emotion. Anunnaki is spelled A-N-U-N-N-A-K-I. With no emotion, who ran a huge financial empire. He is the equivalent of a celebrity billionaire in our reality. He was not from that planet. My name is Brock. I am blonde-haired, 6 foot 6 inches tall. Well, it just says 6 foot 6 inches. And I got huge muscles from working out in the home gym. I may have been on steroids too. I also practiced jousting and sword fighting at home. I already finished school, top of my class, ahead of all the other kids, and was bored with life. My parents gave me whatever money I wanted to do whatever I wanted with my life. So I went to the Mardi Gras styled red light district to visit Bill's nightclub. And the breakaway, it's customary for the young generation to hit the red light district at least once when they come to age. I am a rich, preppy, hot, it says hot throb, probably heartthrob, and show up wearing either a suit and a tie or golf-looking outfits. All the girls there immediately know who I am as I visit often. They quickly head into the back and put on their cutest outfits. I have an account there and pay about 5 girls regularly to hang out with me, usually at the bar. All of them are about my age. They dance and kiss on me, and they have a crush on me. I treat them well and don't abuse them like what usually happens here. Plus, most of their clients are either old or disgusting looking guys or aliens. The club has a pole with a mini stage and tables and private booths around that. The personnel are all women and one drag queen. They all look very young. Each of the girls wear a number which clients can write down and purchase for private viewings with an escorted bodyguard. They also do talent shows. So here is the image provided. And that's him right there. My parents know what's up and don't mind. They are too busy to care anyway. My dad sees this as an opportunity. He is seeking to be released from a contract with the Observers. These are a group of archangel aliens, which look like the Observers in the Fringe TV show. Huh. I'm gonna have to rewatch that. They are tasked with observing and resetting negative timelines throughout the cosmos. Dad makes a deal with them. He gets a new business contract in exchange for selling a piece of my consciousness to the Cybex, CYBEX Corporation, which they operate. Dad also owns stock in the company too. That's crazy. The Observers would use technology to project my consciousness back in time to my now current life on planet Earth, in the hope I could try to reverse the negative destruction timeline. Because in that future reality, planet Earth was destroyed from wars. From my future self perspective, the procedure was quick, but for me, it would be a lifetime or multiple lifetimes. The reason Earth kept being destroyed is because the vibration of the people on the planet Earth was so low, a psychopath could come into power and create destruction like nuclear war. However, if you can raise the consciousness of the planet, the negative agendas are unable to materialize because it's no longer a match of that planetary vibration. Apparently, the Observers at Cybex had technology that could reset timelines, so if something catastrophic happened, they would reset us over and over, which is probably why some people experience Mandela effects. The reason Earth vibration was so low is because so many native Terrans, T-E-R-R-A-N-S, have been abused and traumatized for so many eons of lives. To raise Earth's vibration, a fresh batch of high vibrational star seeds were asked to incarnate into human bodies on planet Earth at this time. If you're reading this, you're probably one of them too. The Observers specifically wanted to recruit me because they used looking glass tech to know I had the drive and determination to change the timeline, being that I was Daniel Payseur, P-A-Y-S-E-U-R, Perseus, and other lifetimes I have led as well. At first, Dad sent 2 men from Cybex to try to persuade me to join. I was the perfect candidate, smart, young, and bored with life. However, I wanted nothing to do with them, so the division studied me. They learned everything I liked. They calculated the perfect scenario to change my mind. Jennifer was created from a scan from Brock's mind of the perfect girl look. By looking at my lifetimes and other realities, the observers pulled all of my records to see who I'd been with and what changed me the most. They searched for the consciousness of the perfect match on that planet. If she was not on the planet, then they would look on other planets to find the perfect girl. Cybex found Jennifer on the other side of the planet and then recruited and began training her in the art of seduction. She was given a job at the club I would frequent, and she quickly became one of the 5 girls I liked being with the most. She would act snobby and harder to get, just like Brock was. I would wait in the club until it was time for her to go home, and I would follow her into her studio apartment. I would park my cyberpunk Lamborghini car. I wonder if it's like a cyber truck. In her underground parking garage. It was a gray fluorescent pink with yellow stripes. It stood out in that district. She would flirt with me and ask me what it would be like to live on Mars. She explains her interest in joining Cybex. This is how it's written. They take piece of your consciousness and they put it in computer and make a clone of you. And you go to another place while we stay here and monitor what that consciousness would do. It takes a while to get him interested, but eventually Brock agrees. When Dad found out Brock was green light, he instructed Cybex to immediately move into action. A small makeshift storefront was rented on an off street. The whole facility seems to have been quickly built just to get Brock on board. When Brock walks in and sees the same 2 guys in white doctor gowns, he immediately says, "I already said no," but Jennifer and the 2 guys help him change his perspective to see that life is not all about partying but meaningful things. The facility had a spinning ring device, which you would mount into. It can map out your brain frequencies and scan your body. Cybex also took a blood and DNA sample. There are computers. I was trying to think, is there a spinning thing in sci-fi stuff that they've already shown us? You know what I mean? There are computers and machinery in there too, such as a neon purple colored light Stargate portal device on the wall in the shape of a circular ring. It's not operating right now, but it looks like this is how they come and go. The Stargate opens, into a hallway, and you can hear a loud sounding metal floor while it's being walked on. It leads you to a jump train, which can portal to other planets. Wow. My mind was just like going while I was reading. So I'm just like, I can't believe it. The procedure took a few hours, and Brock really didn't know what he was getting into. They told him they would be gone the next day and to ask all questions now. They said I had a determined consciousness that allows me to get projects done. They said I would be gone for up to 200 years. If I failed, they would restart the timeline and I would have to do it over again. Brock and my family would not be allowed to interfere with my life here. Jennifer also signed up too for the program, and she also went to planet Earth. The next day later, the facility was vacant. I go to Jennifer's apartment and then decide to take the train to the other side of the planet to spend time with Jennifer and her family, as I didn't like living at home anymore. Dad had no emotion and he didn't treat me or Mom that well. Dad later told Brock that he approved and set everything up. Brock was really upset at him. After that, Brock lived with Jennifer for a short time and then moved on with his life. When he got older, he moved away from that planet, his father and Jennifer. At the age of 32, he is a businessman now, 7 foot tall. His blonde hair is now brown and he has a mustache. He is still a bachelor and too busy to get married. Cybex would send him a book of my life in the here and now, but they skipped all the bad parts. Brock was so angry at my dad and Jennifer, he never wanted to look at the book closely to see what they did to him and did to me. Jennifer went on to work for my father. She could be assassin or whatever they programmed her mind to do. She is a cyborg and doesn't mind this line of work. It is better than living in the slave trade ghetto where she grew up in. I am not sure of what lifetime I was first projected back into, but around 1980 I connected with embryo number 320. From age 1 to 3, I was raised on a spaceship in a high vibrational environment around other crystal soul beings. They had to do this because since I am a crystal soul, I require a high vibrational environment as a young child to incarnate into this universe. The program was going great until the Orion group, consisting Draco, reptilians, and Greys, hijacked the program. The civilization I came from was in the 4th dimension, which the Draco also operate out of, so it wasn't too hard for them to hijack us. At age 3, the Draco used MMP, mirror mimicry, printing technology to 3D print a bodysuit loaded with black goo to age progress me back to a fetus. The Orion group also injected me with a neural damper, which limited only 2.8% of my soul from the future from projecting into this body. Looking into my head, there is some huge white cloud of cotton balls looking nanotech. This stuff has spread all over my neurons like a spider web, which can create, it says can creates, a microstasis field that can block memories. This is called a neural damper field. The Draco would then connect to my vessel with astral cord on the back of my neck. Years later, the Alliance took over Project Surrogate and removed much of this damper field so that now 11% of my soul is occupying my current body. The Draco astral cord was also disconnected with a hole in its place. The Draco would then surrogate multiple digital copies of Embryo 320 into my cyborg mother who raised me. These digital copies all had my soul, but I wanted nothing to do with this host mother. My surrogated mother in this life was part of the negative mantis genetic projects. The Draco and reptilians shared their databases and used a quantum computer to find the best candidate mother, which could control me for all their programs they had planned for me. My surrogated mother was chosen due to her being connected to the white magic lodges in the Roman times. She would collect herbs and make spells. She wasn't a bad person, but she was in a cyborg body, which had cores and wires controlled by a negative mantis. The mantis would overtake her cybernetics, and she would act in a cruel manner towards me, creating much negativity, which the mantis would feed off of, like a food source. My fetus was supposed to be surrogated into a more positive mother, which was originally part of the agreement I made. One of them was a full ET, meaning she was not born on planet Earth. This mother was raised in a Catholic Irish family and was living in the USA at the time of my birth. I think her name is maybe Evelyn, and she might be living in the state of Georgia. After she lost me as her baby, she was put into a psych ward to erase her ET memories of me and her abilities. This was part of the Orion hijacking operation. Evelyn wasn't the only surrogated mother I had. After they put me with my mantis-controlled cyborg mother, I wanted nothing to do with her, and I teleported out of her womb. And into another mother like Evelyn, a total of 5 different times. It's supposed to be times, but it says time. But the Draco would keep returning me back to the cyborg, mantis-controlled mother who raised me in the here and now. The goal of all this was to throw off the enemy, to hide the genuine version of me so they can't get to me. The other versions of me all have my soul consciousness, but are non-organic digital clone copies. When my digital copy was about the age of 3, one night the Draco opened a portal of light and took away my clone and once again put me in his place. They wanted to repeat the surrogation process in order to create a bunch of clones of me to be trained later in life as super soldiers. They copied everything of my 3-year-old clone, including his clothes too, and put me in the crib in place of the original. When Mom woke up, she picked me up and immediately knew I was not the same child, as our energy field is different. My energy field was huge and high vibrational and blue. But my clone's energy field was much lower, as 42% of his energy was gone as a result of being drained by that mantis. So that reminds me of Troll Hunters on Netflix. Watch it, I highly recommend it. But they can take, and there's like shapeshifters, and they take the human as a baby and put it with all these other babies, and then the shapeshifter does the baby's life or whatever. And there's people that have been there for hundreds of years. That's insane. Okay, I will leave it at that. Don't go, hey, we need a good chance. Till we meet again. Love you, mean it.